The Duel Overload set is one of the most anticipated sets for the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2020 season. Already thought to make some of the better decks even better at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, possibly even the top of the meta. There are quite a few strategies that get looked over. In this particular video, we're going to be going over some of the bad strategies with tons of potential. Duel Overload might make these decks better, or Duel Overload may give players more access to it, and possibly the next set makes it better. And of course, I can't list every single strategy with tons of potential, so I'm gonna need you guys' help. Post down below in the comment section which strategies did I miss. Also, be sure to like this video and share it with a friend. It really helps us. So without further ado, let's jump on in. The first strategy I want to talk to you guys about shouldn't be considered a bad strategy by any stretch. But if you look at its current and most recent tops, I mean, there isn't any, then you would understand why this is a bad deck with tons of potential. ABC is a Union-based deck, probably the only competitive Union-based deck that we ever had and will have, that abuses the link mechanic like no other. Being able to use your monsters like A Assault Core to be able to recur those Union monsters to your hand, B Buster Drake to be able to search whatever Union monster you need, and C Crush Wyvern to special summon Union monsters for your hand. That's right, it's Union monsters. It's not just ABC parts. This strategy can be amazing. Its best card, ABC Buster Dragon, just so happens to be a byproduct of linking these guys off. If you just so happen to have A, B, and C in the graveyard, you get a free 3000 attack monster that can banish cards on your opponent's side of the field, and then even on their turn, give you A, B, and C to use for more link materials. Master Rule 4 and 4.5 help this deck tremendously, but the new card Union Carrier pushes it a little bit further. Now you can search that critical Union piece you need to attach it to your certain Union monsters to be able to pop off with more combos. And if this particular card doesn't put ABCs on the map, well, you might have to wait till Eternity Call where they get another amazing Union monster to make ABCs a little bit more powerful. I think the deck is awesome and it has just about everything you want. It is now a link-based deck, but it has more access to ABC Dragon Buster, which can be a complete pain on your opponent. The next strategy is Witchcrafters. Now, Witchcrafters have no new cards confirmed yet for the Duel Overload set as of recording this video, but you do get two awesome reprints in Witchcrafter Creation and Witchcrafter Madame I'm not gonna try to enunciate this card's name. The Witchcrafter monsters have a unique mechanic where you can discard spell cards from your hand to gain certain abilities. For example, Madame Vare requires you to discard a spell card, but can negate all monster effects on your opponent's side of the field. And what's crazy about this deck is that your Witchcrafter spell cards, while hard once per turns, you can also gain their graveyard ability, whereas if you control a Witchcrafter monster, you can add them to your hand. Witchcrafter Creation not only searches you any Witchcrafter monster from your deck to your hand, but also during the end phase, if you do control a Witchcrafter monster, you can add it to your hand. This creates a continuous cycle of cards where you can get spell cards to use your Witchcrafter's effects, or you can use those Witchcrafter monsters pitching those spell cards to gain certain abilities. And then the deck even gets stronger with Witchcrafter Ginny from the Ignition Assault set. At the cost of discarding a spell card and tributing herself, she can summon a Witchcrafter monster from your deck to your side of the field. But here's where she gets amazingly strong. By banishing her and a Witchcrafter card, you can activate its effect again. All of those hard once per turns becomes twice per turn cards. This deck is pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's a world beater, but it's definitely a bad deck with tons of potential. A good friend of mine's favorite strategy is Prank Kids. And fortunately, I just so happen to think that they are a bad deck, but on the flip side, they have tons of potential. Now, Prank Kids are brought down by two particular things. The first thing is that there aren't a lot of Prank Kid monsters. Maybe one or two more Prank Kid monsters would help the deck tremendously. The second thing is that you can't summon those Prank Kid monsters to your side of the field fast enough, relying on your link summon, and also getting into your fusion is a little bit harder. Now, Predaplant Verte Anaconda does help that. It will allow you to get to your Prank Kids cards, but it doesn't solve the fact that you need monsters to your side of the field to make it. I do think that this deck is a bad deck with tons of potential though because of its link potential. Being able to special summon your Battle Butler to wipe all of your opponent's monsters on their side of the field, or your Super Dragon. You guys remember that Shaolin Showdown show? That's seriously what Rip Roar and Root Roast, whatever freak this card is supposed to be.
Rip Roar and Rooster.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Jeez. Regardless, having a Lightning Storm on hand, being able to destroy your opponent's spell and trap cards, or being able to destroy all of your opponent's monsters on their turn is pretty strong. I think that another spell card, and again, another one of those monsters can help you. And I think that having any of those things that I listed before would tremendously help the deck. Or, I mean, you know, things. That can happen too. You never know. Now, I might just piss off all Dark Magician players to no end when I say Blue Eyes is a bad deck with tons of potential. Maybe the tons of potential part may piss them off, not the bad deck part. But the reason why is because of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This card has so much untapped potential, it just gets better and better every single time Konami decides to make synchros. Reason being is because while it does require Blue Eyes cards to summon, your opponent can only summon 2 monsters at a time. This restricts pendulum summoning or any other type of mass summoning mechanic that your opponent wants to take advantage of, but also it has some other great effects. Blue Eye Spirit Dragon negates the activation of a card effect that activates in the graveyard, which is amazing in a format where a whole bunch of cards activate in the graveyard. Also, it contributes itself to special summon a light synchro dragon monster to your side of the field. In an era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we can special summon anything to our side of the field without the use of links, having access to a Black Rose Moonlight Dragon to bounce your opponent's cards, or being able to special summon a Stardust Spark Dragon which can protect itself, or one of your face-up cards on your side of the field is pretty awesome. Not to mention that Kristan Hackliff-Fibris. It's Needle Fiber, the Needle Fiber card. Helps the deck tremendously because one of your best cards in Sage with the Eyes of Blue is a tuner monster itself. Is it just me or did we all think that this card was a girl? Because it definitely looked like a chick. Blue Eyes never really got the opportunity to mature inside of Master Rule 4. By the time it did get busted Link monsters, they were already being hit on the Forbidden list. But now since the strategy doesn't need busted Link monsters, and just so happens to be getting a busted Link monster, the deck is a bad deck with tons of potential. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I probably could say Blue Eyes in any video, and people would probably eat it up. A lot of players are glue eaters. Herald of Perfection allows me to relive some of the dark moments in Yu-Gi-Oh! Imagine summoning a Herald of Perfection in 2010 Yu-Gi-Oh! With 5 fairy monsters in your hand. You weren't playing too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially when the 5th fairy monster is honest. This deck is revitalized with a new Herald Link, not only allowing you to have a mini Herald of Perfection inside of a Link monster, but also surging your Herald of Perfection as well as your Dawn of the Herald spell cards all in one. Eva was a card that was introduced in the Lost Sanctuary structure deck. I think that's the deck's name. The only structure deck to actually completely flop, and gives the deck access to having multiple fairy monsters in the hand. This strategy is actually being supported so much inside of the Duel Overload set just because of all of the other fairy Link monsters that the strategy would be getting indirectly. I don't think there's much to talk about when it comes to the Herald of Perfection strategy. You still sit on a huge Herald monster on your side of the field, negate all of your opponent's card effects, and then you switch it to attack and you start ramming into your opponent's life points. Sounds really fun. I can't wait. Now, the last strategy, you guys are really gonna have to hear me out. Like, when I say this, do not turn off the video. It is that bad of a deck, but it has so much potential. It's Aliens. And no, I'm not paid by Area 51 to sidetrack you guys for this, and the FBI is not messaging me right now. But Aliens can be a serious contender. We're expected to get the new Alien Link that actually places A counters on the side of the field and can special summon reptile monsters from your graveyard to your side of the field with different names up to the number of monsters your opponent controls with an A counter. Fortunately for us, that's not the only reason why I think Aliens are going to be competitive. Cosmic Fortress Gorgar is going to be the centerpiece of this strategy, and the reason why is because it can bounce spell and trap cards on the field to place A counters on monsters on the field. It bounces spell and trap cards on the field. Like, spell and trap cards on the field. Imagine being able to bounce cards like Mystic Mine from your field to your hand so you can start popping off with all your effects, disrupt your opponent's board, and then activate Mystic Mine when you're in phase after you've cleared your opponent's board and used all your card effects. This deck can do that, and it's kind of crazy. Aliens also have a Junk Synchron-like monster inside of Alien Ammonite, which can continuously special summon monsters for a synchro summon into your Cosmic Fortress Golgar or your Alien Link monster. The deck also has a pretty strong alien monster that just so happens to be a normal monster, so Rescue Rabbit comes into play. As you guys can see, I'm already formulating an idea. I'm super excited about this alien deck because it can take over the meta. That was a terrible pun. I'm gonna excuse myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys feel that I missed some strategies, I know I did, go ahead and post down below. Now remember, they have to be bad strategies with tons of potential. And then also be sure to tell us why they have so much potential. Also, be sure to like this video and share it with a friend. It lets me know as a content creator that you guys want to see more. Well, the liking the video and sharing with a friend gets more likes, so you get where I'm going, right? I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am. Except for you fucks. I hope you guys are having a trash day. Y'all are sacks of shit.
Only
okay?
a little bit.
Yeah, shut your bitch ass up.
Probably.
I'm going all back to all me.